I'm reaching out to all of our brothers and sisters on that.
Been here and on Black on Fire for interviews, and they're super amazing, talented artists coming from the 254. A quick shout out to everyone live with us on YouTube, Rumble, BitChute. Everyone on the radio station, hope you guys are doing great, having a wonderful morning, afternoon, whatever the time is on your end. My name is Joby. To the first time listeners on those platforms that I've mentioned, kindly ensure you subscribe, follow us, and ensure you also have our application, because these apps actually do not make some sense sometimes. Sometimes we're here, sometimes we're not here, especially on YouTube. We're always here under a limited time. It's like we're under supervision. It's like we're under, how should I call it? There's this term I want to use. It's like we're on a probation. We're just on a probation on YouTube. Are they doing great? Fine, let's keep them on. Are they doing bad? Nah, let them go right now. That's what's literally, or rather, Black on Fire, what basically gets to face. But karibuni sana to those who get to catch up with us, those who get to listen to this on a replay on Spotify as well, and Spreaker. Hope you guys get to enjoy. Today we shall be talking about what is happening in Mali. Yesterday I had an amazing conversation where we did see, of course, majority of the things. Generally, when you talk about democracy, when you talk about also the exploitation of our resources, we've seen, of course, which companies benefit the most. And we've seen countries like Niger, Mali, Burkina Faso trying as much as they can to take control of their own mining controlled bases. I'd say that. I think we had Niger, that was towards the end of last year, which we saw, of course, seizing back two companies. We had Mali, which completely paid off its debt. We also had Burkina Faso, which also paid off its debt. And we hope the rest of the African countries can catch up with what the Alliance Sahel state is trying to do. And with that, we've also seen other countries trying to also join the Alliance Sahel state. We're talking about Chad, Ivory Coast, which chased away the French military base. We had yesterday Nigeria, which also spoke about them getting rid of the U.S. Foreign, or rather the foreign military forces in their country. But until we see actions, words are just words, and we need to see actions actually being applied, like the way the rest of the countries are doing. But on the top of the discussion we have for today is about also South Africa, where we've seen them launch rescue missions for the trapped illegal miners. And remember, this was actually towards the end of the year, also reported this, where we had about 4,000 illegal miners who are trapped there. And South Africa, one of the ministers, one of the politicians released a very harsh statement. It was a lady, if you guys can remember. I shared the statement she was sharing, and she was really rude. She was like, these people are not supposed to be here. They're here illegally. And for me, I just understood the xenophobic behavior that South Africans have, because the fact that you even lack humanity to just help people who are trapped.
They don't say that about they don't say that about non-Africans. They don't say about African people. Their minds are so messed up in South Africa because the white people controlled their minds for the last 400 years. They're fucked up in it. They hate other African people. And then they get upset. I seen a video on TikTok of the South African from Mozambique. They treat us bad. They treat you bad, moron, because they know how you treat every other African. Everybody on the continent knows you South Africans are fucked up. So don't expect to go to somebody else's country and get treated like a brother when you treat no one like that.
Well, I don't think Africans, we have, personally, I'm going to speak from my own perspective as an African. I don't think I'm the type of person to do, I don't believe in revenge, literally. I don't really believe in revenge at all. The same thing, I don't believe in hate. Hate is really,
yeah, but it's not about hate, Joe. So they're in that region. They're in the region.
It is hate. Whatever you're trying to speak from, if I'm reciprocating a certain behavior, Keith, just because you did me bad, now I have to reciprocate the same type of behavior. I hate you so much. Or I
don't hate you
so much.
I don't hate you. I don't hate you. It's called an eye for an eye. That's in your goofy Bible. It's called an eye for an eye. You treat me bad, that's the reciprocation. No, it's called cause and effect.
That's not how you're supposed to be reacting. That's what I'm trying to say. We're not supposed to be reacting like that. Just because you treat me shitty, Keith, does not make me shitty. Understand that?
No, okay? No, it doesn't make you shitty. It makes you treat people the way they treat you, Joby. You don't treat people no better than the way they treat you. See, I told you that's the problem with Africa. You treat white people all good. Let me finish.
This is not about white people.
Let me finish. Let me finish. Let me finish. They're in that region, Jovi. Mozambique is next to South Africa, Botswana, Zimbabwe. So when South Africans think they're going to go outside the country, and they're treating those uh, people inside their country with disdain and contempt. How am I supposed to treat you with love? That don't make any sense. That's not even common sense. I'm supposed to treat you with love while you treat my people that's in your country today with like shit.
I want us to understand this. In this perspective, we're talking about Africans, how they react towards other Africans. Let's not misunderstand how Africans treat white people and how they expect to be treated by white people. I'm an African who goes to South Africa. Like the video I showed, I think that was in 2023. We had Sean Arwa, one of the biggest YouTuber we have here right in the 254. She went to South Africa and she faced some criticisms. She's like, oh, you're the main reason why we're treated like this as black people. And she's like, that's not my problem. That's you trying to view your own perception, the way they view you, or the way the way you present yourself. That's how they'll carry you. I came here as a guest. I expected you to receive me as a guest because you're my fellow brother as an African. I understand you are my fellow African, leave alone the white people, okay? Let's leave white people out of this subject. You are a black person like me. I come to your country. Whether you treat me with respect or not, Keith, is not going to change the way I'm going to come treat you when you come to my house. Because you're going to be the most ashamed one. I'm going to tell you that for a fact. And that's how I believe that. If you're talking about
South Africans are not ashamed, Joe.
Listen, it's okay. But I'm gonna speak on behalf of other Africans, okay? If you go to Nigeria, you go to Ghana, you go to Mozambique, you go to Zambia, and you get maybe these xenophobic behaviors, which are not there, but I'm not gonna say they're not there. Okay, because in Kenya we also have some people who have that entitlement. You know, Kenyan, you're not supposed to be here. I'm not gonna say it's not there. It's there, but not really that much on our face. So the fact that I've gotten some negative vibe from 1, 2, 3 people in a country full of 50-something million people shouldn't make me different when they come to my place. Treat them the same way they treated me. Personally, I'm a high believer as Joby. You treat me fucked up. Trust me, I'm a heel. You'll come back. I'll treat you even more good. It's you to be fucked up in the head. Trust me. It is you to be fucked up in the head. Because there's nothing wrong with you.
All right. And I'm waiting for you to do your parents like that. Bring them in and treat them good, Joe. Since that's your motto. That's your motto. No, since that's your motto. Because it's the same thing. That's what I'm waiting for. Don't sell me that. Don't sell me that bullshit and don't live by it.
No, that's not fair. That's not fair. On this case, it's different. Okay, there's some circumstances.
Now it's different.
Listen, some circumstances you look at and you're like, nah, this is way beyond repair, right? This is way beyond repair. I can't repair this. I'm okay where I am. I don't need to be friends with you. I don't need to be cool with you. I just stick to my zone. That's the difference. Okay?
That's talking about being friends. It's talking about treating like people over, treating them good, like you just said. That's what you said.
And there's some situations where some situations are literally beyond repair. I can repair this. We can work beyond this. This was just, I understand where you're coming from regarding the country you're coming from. That I understand. But we don't do that right here. We're full of love. We're full of humility. We're full of literally everything you'd love to expect. A good example.
All Africans are full of love and humility. That's what got them fucked up.
A good example in Tanzania, Keith. We've been in Tanzania and there's been a fuse going on between Tanzanian and Kenyan music for the longest time.
A few. But when you got down there, they treat you with love and kindness. So
exactly.
Forget with that fake view.
Now you got my point exactly. And speaking of South Africa, that's where we're actually starting. Of course, these trapped miners who are, I feel like they've been stuck there. I think so far it's the last 2 months because the last time
they're still alive.
I don't know, but let's read much more and hear what the whole system has to say. They say that the South African government has launched a mission to rescue potentially hundreds of miners trapped in an illegal mine where their access to food, water, and medicines.
Probably because they, like Joby said, probably because they got shamed. Like, what are you goofy South Africans doing? What are you? So they probably were shamed to do this because they were in there for 2 months. They said these people talking about fuck them, let them die. I'm like what?
Exactly. Shame on you. Shame on you.
Exactly.
Shame on you, big time shame on you. All you had to do is just rescue these people. Then you could do maybe the rest of the things even behind the camera. If you used to arrest them, let them give you bribe, but not all come on front of the camera saying they need to die, they deserve to die.
Exactly, Joby. Exactly.
You.
That was absolutely crazy.
That is a big shame. But they say that the South African government has launched a mission to rescue potentially hundreds of miners trapped in the illegal mine, where their access to food, water, and medicine was blocked last year in an effort to force them out. The operation began on Friday after the sister of one of the miners underground filed a court case, and this came in response of letters from miners who were brought to the surface on Thursday. And on the letters claims that at least 109 people have already died. God damn. At the
That's what I was saying. Are they still alive?
at the Basfoni gold
Wow.
mine located near
Wow.
Stilfontein, about 100 miles southwest of Johannesburg. And the illegal mining has been on the rise in South Africa in recent years as many industrial miners are being depleted. Analysis estimates that around 30,000 Zamazama miners are working in abandoned mines, producing up to 10% of the country's gold output. The question is, who is buying this gold? That's where we should start. Who is buying this gold? If these are really illegal mining centers, if I am actually
It usually been making its way over to the Arab countries to Dubai.
exactly, and which is, we have a really fucked up system, the whole of the continent.
Of
If
course.
personally, if I'm trying to look at how businesses used to operate way back then, even if you went to sell something, even a phone to someone, there's gonna be clear tracks of where you got it. This phone you bring into me, is it of a dead
Exactly.
person? Is it of an alive person? Is it someone who sold it to you? Why does it have a problem? Where did you get this phone? But today we're having all these illegal mines, but yet people are going to sell this gold. Who's the biggest beneficiary? Because that's something I've been talking
The,
about
nu-
even
the
when
number
it
one,
comes to Kenya.
the number one gold seller now the Arab countries, where there's no gold in there's no gold in none of their countries. So how are they now to just like the Jews over in Israel are the number one distribution of diamonds. There's no diamonds in Israel. So it's all the theft coming out of Africa, where the people who distribute it make all the money. That's why Dubai is rich, Africa's poor. Why Israel's rich, Africa's poor. That's why.
It's
No
crazy.
control. No
This is
control any resources.
this is so sad. They had to hit till 100 and something people to die there. Of course, bodies are rotting.
Of
You
course.
had to wait till wait people are complaining about literally bad smells so that you can come help them. This is so low of South Africa. South
It is. It tells you how
a
this
real
is
drama.
this is a microcosm. That's the whole country. It's a microcosm of the South Africa. This is your South African man. I hate to tell you, this is a microcosm of the way they think. This is who they are. And that whether it hurts you or not, Joe, but that's just a fact. That's why that public official can come on TV and so boldly have that much hate and vitriol towards their fellow African who are her. They have so much self-hate in South Africa. They've been damaged. The damage is deep, Joe. It's deep. Wait till I send you there at the end of the year. What? I'll let you see. Just be quiet and just observe. Just look for yourself. Don't be ashamed to call a spade a spade. Don't look for yourself. Don't try to overlook what you see. Just just observe it. You'll see what I'm talking about.
It's
Their
it's
hatred for themselves is deep.
it's crazy. We need, and that's the video I was sharing yesterday at the beginning of Africa Today show. Africans, we need to start embracing love towards each other. Number one, starting with
True.
yourself. Because I was talking about how
True.
self-hate does not even start with the media, at school, or in the society, the community, you've been denied job opportunity because there's light-skinned people and all that. It starts at home, and I've seen it personally, even in
True.
maybe neighborhoods. You'll find
Of
a
course,
parent,
of
and I'm
course
gonna
it's
start
talking
with
about
an
because
example of a single
if
parent.
your parents' mind is messed up, Joby, of course, it's going
Exactly.
to go to the children. Exactly.
Especially the single parents are really bitter about their children. Single mothers are
Wow.
really bitter. And I believe this is globally, not of course every single
Yeah.
mother. We have
Oh
women.
no. It's bad in America. Yeah, it might be in black place. It is global. I know it's in America. I know it's bad. That's why they did it. That's
We
why they
have
separate the
women.
men and women. It's bad in America.
Yeah, we have women who are really highly educated to understand, hey, this is over. All I need to do is just become a good we can co-parent, and I really appreciate, especially in America, those women who are brave enough to even not to put their baby daddies under child support, because understanding what the black men are put in America, that's a good angle. But I'd say in Africa, personally, what I've seen, especially in the ghettos to be specific, and I say, person, I didn't experience that. The only time I've ever had my mom comparing me to my dad is because of my behaviors. So she was like, "You just behaving like your dad." I'm like, "My dad?" That's the first time I even knew I had a dad, because I didn't know 12 years after, when I was 12. So she mentioned my dad. I'm like, I have a dad? I didn't even know about that. And the fact, personally, is not someone who's mentioned in my conversations or our conversation most of the
Wow.
times.
Crazy.
It never hit my mind. That's one thing I appreciate
Yeah.
about my mom. She never put me in a position to hate my dad.
That is
Never.
good. Make you
Unlike
she allowed
most
you
of the parents.
she allowed you to make your own conclusions, which is good.
She never put me like, oh, you're bad. Nah, she just compared maybe my characters, the way I was changing as a teenager. She's like, you look now like you, some of your aunties, da, 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 da. But you find most of the single mothers who are really damaged and can't go beyond the fact that they separated with their baby daddies, or, you know, maybe
Yeah,
the
they
baby daddy
blame
is not
they
a
put all their
present
pain
father.
they put all their pain in their children. You know your
Yeah,
dad was no damn good, they make you no
exactly.
good and blah blah blah. Yeah, they put all their trauma into the child. Exactly.
Exactly. And it starts now with the skin complexion. That is what I was sharing yesterday. It starts even with the skin complexion. You find maybe darker children, they'll be told this is the Swahili term. Kwenda huko, when mosi kama babako. Which in which in translation means go to hell. You look as black as your father. So when you
God damn.
you know when
See, you see how internalized the self hatred is that the Europeans brought to African people. That's
yeah,
globally. So
it's
you
there.
look as black as your dad.
But it's
You know,
there. Yeah. When it's there, right? Yeah, it's
not
there.
bad. It's there because of colonialism and their colorism of white people. They instilled that shit to black people globally. They've instilled that fucked up and not understanding that your white genetics is recessive, is bad. The black is good. The white is bad. But since you got colonized by psychopaths, they completely reverse that. Black is bad and white is good. Anything that's white is dead, morons. But we didn't never know that. So it's bad in America too. It's the same shit. White skin. You don't know that they're damn deficient. Their blue eyes is recessive. It's bad. You don't know that your brown eyes are good. You got better genes. They know it. They studied your ass. They know, but they know. But they tell you black is bad and black is terrible. No, black is the color of God.
Mhm.
That's why you're the first people. Right? I think Africans are the first people on the planet, and you were created. You think God had hatred for you? Hell no, it's why he created you first. You're the first among everybody. So nobody come before the black woman. Nobody. Nothing. So you think God makes junk? God don't make no junk. And God knew exactly what he wanted to create first. The black woman. African woman. So how can she be bad? How can her color be bad? It wasn't. That's how it happened when you got conquered by lesser people. We got conquered by savages. And they put their bullshit in us, and that's what we're dealing with, unfortunately. That self-hate. So as African people, that's gotta be conquered. That self-hate has gotta be conquered. But only through history, knowing yourself, and getting real knowledge, can you conquer that. Knowing what melanin is and who are you.
Mhm.
Because you're right, that's everything. It's like Ruby's eye told me, her being like Joby, black and beautiful, right? Ruby's eye is gorgeous, but she couldn't get a job in Zimbabwe because she wasn't what? Light skinned. He was light skinned. You go try to get a job, then nah, we're not hiring you. Like, why not? I got the qualification.
Exactly. It's there.
Because you're black. That's why.
It's there. It's there. Personally, I saw those favorisms in school. I'd say the only best position that made me maybe get a few favors is because I had the principal and the deputy principal trying to coach me. That's the only, that's the only main reason why.
Never got you over. Hey, do whatever works, Joby.
That got me so many advantages to walk away with everything I wanted at school. But majority of the cases, it's light-skinned women or ladies who could be favored.
You see it exactly, because that's because you've been taught to hate yourself. It's only in that self-hate is deep, because that's what the Europeans came in with, the hate of blackness, because everything blackness dominates them. Black is dominant. It's a dominant gene. It's a dominant force. So they had to undermine the dominance of blackness.
It's crazy. But on the next story, shout out to South Africans. I wish them the best. I hope the current.
That's why the South Africans be skin bleaching like hell. That's why the Nigerians and them goopy ass moving all that skin bleach. That's the hate. And that's why the goopy ass Jamaicans. I'm telling you all the sucker. I'm naming all the sucker ass niggas. I'm naming.
Congolese. We also have the Congolese. The men.
Congolese too.
Especially.
John
Mosquito, if you're listening. John Mosquito, you spoke some shit yesterday. I saw your comment.
What did he say?
He said, I don't know, the Congolese men bleach. I can't remember the whole comment, but it was about the Congolese men bleach. Like, now you need to stop looking at these people. Should be focusing about their displacement in their own country, but there's so much focus on the Carolines.
Because that's how you know your mind is damaged. Your hatred is so deprecating that you imagine a grown man putting skin bleaching cream on his face. You know, you gotta imagine the psychology, Joe. You are destroyed inside, and yet you raise kids, because no matter how much skin bleaching you put on, your kids are gonna still come out black.
True.
So imagine the hatred you got for your children. You're so damaged and fucked up.
Here's your brown. Oh my god, it's so true, because we've seen one of the socialites where she's really super light skinned. She's gone for all these cosmetic transformations and all that.
Yeah.
But one of our children is super dark, like super.
Yeah, Joe, because I don't change your genetics. You putting skin bleach don't change your DNA. Don't change your genetics, because your DNA knows your ass is black, not light skinned.
It's so sad. But anyways, we're getting to the next conversation. This is about Mozambique, which has opened a new parliament. A new parliament, despite, of course, the strikes and the protests. And we saw that was 2 months ago. Their parliament was set on fire. We shared that, if you guys can remember. It was set up on fire, and the Mozambican people are being, of course, on strike because of the stolen elections, which they highly believe were stolen. And this happens, of course, in every country, globally, I'd say. Not Africa, but just globally. Elections are not set up the way we assume. Just because
globally. I agree with you. Globally, yes.
You turn out to vote, it doesn't mean your vote makes a change. That's the bullshit they sold to us. Your vote makes a change.
They sold that to the whole world, Jovi. But they know they got enough to technology that they manipulate all puppets are in. Trump is a puppet. All puppets, they control all elections on the planet now. All elections are ran by a certain group of people. So yeah, there's no real elections unless you do an electoral rate and you take the power. Say fuck that. Election is phony.
It's crazy. So let me share this very quickly of what's happening with the current information from Mozambique.
Days ahead of his presidential inauguration, the Frelimo Party's Daniel Shapo attends Parliament in Maputo. It comes despite disputed election results following October's vote.
No, he didn't win.
The party's 65% win finalized by the Constitutional Council. Shapo's party has won 171 seats, giving it a parliamentary majority. The remaining 79 seats have gone to opposition parties.
I expect excellent collaboration. Besides Frelimo, we have Podemos, Renamo, and MDM, parties that represent the will of all Mozambique.
You see all these systems are European. Same system in Mozambique is the same one in Kenya, same one in Ghana, same one in Nigeria, same thing. All European bullshit. Controlled by Europeans for their benefit. None of them are African. There's not one African system of government in Africa at all. Not one. They're all European bullshit, and they're all created to steal the profits. That's why Europe is rich. Africa's poor. Why motherfuckers run around with goopy wigs on their head and all kind of dumb shit. Because Africa's poor and Europe is rich. Up the backs of African people. Period. So this whole system was a lie. He didn't win. The people know. That's why you got. When they found, you know what happened when they found new oil? See, Africa's so wealthy, it's crazy. So, certain part of Mozambique, right below the Tanzanian border, right beneath that border with Tanzania, they found gold, oil, diamonds, I think gas. And all of a sudden, there's what? Terrorism. All of a sudden, Al-Shabaab is there. How did Al-Shabaab get through Kenya, down through Tanzania? They catch a bus, get through the border. Joby can't even get to the border with nothing. Where you coming? What you doing? Why you come here? But these terrorists made it all the way to Mozambique and made it where all the minerals and resources are at. You get the scam. Get the scam.
Of course, a very big scam. But I hope Mozambicans are not really that blind to be, we need to still. They're
rioting, Joe. They know he didn't win. That's why they're rioting. They know he didn't win. That's why they're in the streets. They said this is a scam. It's a lie. Mm-hmm. They started to finally get politically active.
It is crucial to promote open and honest internal debate, to pass laws that address the aspirations of the population.
They keep saying the same bullshit.
But the Democratic Movement of Mozambique, or MDM, and Renamo are boycotting the swearing-in ceremony and say the election outcome does not represent the will of the people.
The party believes that this ceremony is devoid of any solemn value, constituting a social outrage.
And of course, he's speaking his colonizers' language, Portuguese. Mm-hmm. That's why they speak English or French, the colonizers' language. He's not speaking an African language. And look, how does he look different than any Kenyan? He don't. Or any Ugandan. He doesn't. They're the same people. But you understand that, you can start uniting and taking back power and control of your continent. See, a lot of decolonizing of the mind. They made you separate people when you never had been. That's what happened in South Africa. But yeah, the youth knows, and the youth tell you, we got inspired by Kenya. We got inspired by our brothers in Kenya not being scared. So if they can do it, we can do it. I told you Kenya was going to be the fire starter of the continent. Mm-hmm. You, the Africans, will talk nonsense, to be fearful, to be scared, and to be over-religious. Don't pray to this fake Jesus.
So we have Jimmy Wanjigi here talking about the same video I think I was sharing the other time.
All right, I haven't seen it.
About not really democracy, but how they have designed Africa to be kept poor on purpose. I don't like this guy. I don't like him for anything because
you ain't gotta like him because he probably corrupt too. Because wasn't he the one that just threw out of office? Wasn't he the deputy president?
No, he's actually said he's gonna vie for the presidential.
Okay. That's the other guy. Yeah, that's the other guy. So, but what he's saying is because he's corrupt. Everybody knows the system. You know the system you live in, Joe. You know the system was created for and by white people to keep white people rich, Joe. That's just a fact. You being corrupt, telling that truth is still the truth.
Let me share this.
I'm the boss of Mokrima. I'm a faithful man. I have no money in my pocket. I said, okay, tell me, when people come to pray to you in church, what do they pray for? He said they pray to come out of their problems.
Yep, all that praying shit.
I said,
Never
so
get
tell
it.
me, you say you have 2 million flock in Mokorino. If they all became wealthy, would they be coming to churches?
No.
Don't come. So I said, you obviously don't want things to change.
Yes.
Go to Europe today. Who are the ones who came and sold us Christianity?
Yeah, they don't be praying for that shit.
They're closed.
Because they're closed. Their warehouses. Because they got self-actualization, they got money, now they believe in other things. Right? They're not praying to God to come out of poverty. See, they're eating every day.
Yeah.
They know it's a lie.
They're thanking God for the money.
So a lot of these faith leaders, I like
That's
to say,
not God.
90%, and they are busy preaching to you, right? I want you to have faith. But you ask any of them to imagine your economic emancipation out of poverty, and they get frightened at that thought. That is reality.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? That is reality.
Because you're overthrown.
These are bosses of big companies, bosses of banks. They milk you. Why do you think they want your emancipation? So that you're aware that you can take your money in other places rather than the bank. No. They want your dependence.
Exactly.
That is planned poverty. And the emancipation of our people out of that, they don't like.
He's saying it's true.
So you see the pushback.
It means the
You see the pushback.
Yes.
You see Gen Z coming out and you're seeing this pushback. Yeah. This pushback. That enough is enough.
Yeah.
Too many people have died. This and this and this story. It's no different to when we were fighting the colonialists. There were people like this. All.
Well, Jimmy Wanjigu was in an interview. He talked about how religion has been weaponized, how religion has been made to make people suffer, how religion has been used as a tool. In the recent days, we have seen politicians going to church and giving sacks of 20 million.
But this is the waking up of the African mind. Now finally be understanding religion. Now analyzing religion. Why was it given to you? You knew who the creator was. Why is this fake religion given to you? And you've been praying and you've been in poverty because it's a lie. If you analyze anything that never works, it's a lie. You're the poorest people on the planet in the richest continent. Then what the fuck is this God doing? He doesn't know Africa's rich. He's that stupid. How you that poor on the richest continent? Is this God dumb?
He's deaf, blind.
Yeah, he's deaf. He's deaf. He can't hear your prayers. You know what? Because he's a cartoon character. You might as well be praying to SpongeBob and shit. SpongeBob, help me, SpongeBob.
They have nothing, and then these politicians come out to say that they are giving because of the grace of God, while others know that it's for the proceeds of corruption. We have seen how the country has transitioned, especially politically, since the Gen Z revolution. However, still there are some things which have not been answered, which have not been decoded.
Let me say one or two words.
The Gen Z are fucking you up. The Gen Z are not the Gen Zs are not their mamas. They're not their they're not as dumb as their mamas. They're not as dumb as their grandmamas and their great grandmamas. Gen Z knows shit, and that's gonna be your detriment.
I have a few points. The first one, I must say, because in the little tours we did, we realized there is a problem with families in this country. We are having very many challenges. And many are saying that those challenges are coming because of money or lack of it. Others, morals. There is a Ghanaian proverb that goes like this.
This guy is like Benjamin Crumb's brother.
Begins in the home. In the home. When you see a corrupt nation, that means you have a corrupt home. When you see immorality in the nation, you have immorality in the home. When you see theft, you have theft in the home. When you see homosexuality, yuko shida kwa nyumba.
That's not true. Pause it. That's a lie. What he's saying is a lie. Because African society has now been managed from top down. So it's the leaders of the country that were corrupt. And so the system's routed from the top down to the bottom. It didn't start from the home. It started from the top. Those societies in Africa have now been created by the puppets that they put in charge. That's why Rwanda is a vision of Kagame. It represents his ass. And that's why Kenya's so corrupt, because Jomo Kenyatta was so corrupt. It was the beginning of the system of this fucked up leader. So that's why Tanzania is less corrupt, because of their first leader, Julius Nyerere. So it doesn't come from the home. That's a lie, because Africans were never corrupt until the Europeans got control of Africa. There was no theft. There wasn't even any jails in Africa. It didn't exist. There were no jails. There was no corrupt. There was no stealing. So what he's saying is a lie. That's not true. Your proverb is a lie. And that's why Africans got to be educated to push back when you hear people just say shit. What he's saying is not true. Because Africa never was corrupt. Never was. That's a fact.
That's why I say personally, I don't trust him, because he's one among
the British came in and said,
he's one among the top people who are claimed to be funding the Gen Z's protest. He's one among the people who he has said he's going to vie for the 2027 presidential seat. He's one among the people, if you talk about corruption, we should be checking into his funds, because he's a claimed tycoon.
He probably corrupt. Anybody that's a tycoon in Kenya is corrupt as shit. Okay? But he's dealing with a system that's corrupt. They say, well, the system was corrupt. I can move no other way. And he's corrupt too. The system, anybody that's rich in Africa, guys, like a Don Cody, are all corrupt, because the systems were set up by Europeans who were corrupt. The system is corrupt. So you can't become rich in a corrupt system unless you play ball with the system, with the corruption. You're gonna be weeded out. Yeah, that's how.
That is very true. I think that's one of the things I'm going to do maybe on the next show. I'm going to do an investigation of his funds, where he started. There's a time I shared a short documentary of him, because during the demonstration, he was one among the people, of course, being arrested, being claimed to be funding the Gen Z's protest. But I feel like something Kenyans, we have not taken very deep research on is, how did this guy become this wealthy? How did he get to,
all the money, exactly, Joey. All the money.
Exactly. So we have to follow the money and understand, with all the businesses he has, all the assets, how did he get there?
Exactly, because he may be a Trojan. Remember, they fund both sides of an argument. So they might be building him up now to be the new savior, and he's really just a puppet. And you haven't, like you said, you haven't investigated that. He said, yeah, Jiggy sounds good. Yeah, look at him going against the government. And you don't know. He's just a new puppet.
Exactly. We need to do research on that and understand where are his funds coming from, which is the previous regime he's worked with, because I think he worked with Uhuru. If I can remember the clear documentary, the one that I shared, he was literally either
Uhuru's a crime. Exactly. So you know, Uhuru's our crime family. All African leaders have been crime families. That's a fact. Kenya, all of them. Crime families. It's all criminality. That's why you got the Pandora Papers, the Panama Papers, the stealing of the wealth of Kenya, put it in offshore accounts in the Caymans and in Panama City. These are facts. These are criminal organizations pretending to be governments. They're just crime families. Pretend to be government, because government has got the money. You get control of the government, you get control of the money, and get to steal it.
Yeah. It's crazy. But as we get into the main conversation, which is about Mali, which has seized 3 tons of 3 tons of gold from a Canadian company. Of course, I'm not surprised personally. We know all the mineral resources across Africa are not controlled by Africa itself, but literally outside countries.
This why take back power. Don't let that fake democracy shit, because it was the democratic puppets that were giving all the wealth away to the European. That bullshit Julius Malina talking about. Shut your mouth. Shut your raggedy ass mouth. So I'm glad people calling you out. See, I've been said you was a phony. You are a phony. Talking about go back to the fake democracy where black people live in poverty. So they got some fake elected official that the Europeans then put in there to keep stealing. Shut your mouth. You see the people are screaming and yelling for those people. So that's real democracy. They want those leaders in there, getting back their resources and now developing their country and giving their wealth back to them. Should nobody in Africa be poor? Nobody should be poor in Africa. Nobody.
Period.
Go ahead, Joby.
Mali's military government has started seizing gold stocks of the Canadian mining company Barrick as part of a legal battle over the share of revenue owed to the West African state.
Get them out of it. Learn how to mine yourself. Get these white people out of there.
The Malian mining minister stated Monday says Barrick is awaiting official confirmation of the proper receipt by the Malian Solidarity Bank, a government entity. The seizure follows a warning letter to Barrick earlier this month from Mali's senior investigating judge, Boubacar Moussa Diarra, saying
this one mineral gold, the majority of the world's gold come out of Africa. The majority of the world's gold comes out of South Africa poor. Just with one mineral alone, gold. The majority of gold comes out of Africa. You want to explain to me how Africa's poor when the most valuable mineral, gold, comes out of Africa? How they poor? Oh, they're not. Because when Mansa Musa controlled the gold mines, he's the richest man the world ever seen. Ever. Because the minerals of Africa is wealth. Go ahead, Joe.
Would be seized. The Malian authorities did not immediately respond to comments valued at around $180 million. The gold seizure is part of the dispute over revenues owed to the state.
Little bit of gold, $180 million. Imagine how much gold they would dig it out of Joby's goddamn mama's family home back in the day, and getting $2.
A whole lot.
It's true for charges of money laundering without giving evidence and ordered the seizure of Barrick's gold reserves.
Where's his money laundering?
It's crazy, man. This is so sad. And of course, countries like Niger, that was on 4th of December 2024, they took control, of course, of the French uranium mining center, remember? And we also had Burkina Faso, which sold a certain war that was going on.
Why do you need these Europeans in there, Joby? All you got to do is build your own mine, train your people, and collect all your money again for you. But if you do that, I mean, but hey, you got to, exactly, but you start, change your educational system, educate yourselves, of course, start educating yourself to do that work, and then, right, but of course, once you start doing it, there's going to be terrorism there. Somehow, the terrorists are going to find their way to your mining site.
As always, I'm not gonna be. As always, we need proper education because, like I said, personally, in our system of education, we're given the understanding of the kind of resources we have, but not even deeply.
Yeah, but no, that's how you know that. Excuse me, Joby. I mean, let me just say this real quick. I apologize.
Okay.
You know, like I said, you know, this is the system, guys. Like Joby said, all throughout Africa, the Bible in school is mandatory. From Kenya, Nigeria, Ghana, Mozambique, Angola.
They bring the Bibles as a way of donating to us. It's like they've done us a big favor of giving us the Bibles. By the way. Oh my God. We used to take the Bibles as if like it's the small blue Bibles, the New Testament Bibles. They are all donated in schools. Sometimes maybe some private schools which are lucky enough to get them because private schools are independent.
Lucky. Hey, the schools that don't get, you're lucky enough not to get that bullshit.
Yeah, private schools. Because for me, I went in high school at a private school, so that bullshit was never allowed there. But for the primary school, the public schools I went, that was like a man. It's like you've been done a big. That's why you could get the rubbers, the shoe rubbers.
So imagine so I'm giving. So Jomo got I'm giving you the Bible. I'm taking your land, your gold, your cobalt, your gold tan, and you pray to this fake God like our Jiggy just said. But I'm stealing all your gold, all your silver, all your diamonds.
That's what I'm saying. It has to start with our system of education because we are given, yes, the knowledge of the resources we have, but not fully. Because I think it was in 2023, I did one of the shows and I went deeper checking on the resources we have actually coming from Congo. And one of them, I was even struggling to mention the name yesterday. Caste what? I can't even remember.
Most Africans don't know the resources, Joe. But like I said, you know them now. Most Africans don't know the resources that they have.
Yeah,
They don't know the Africans.
me being one of them too, because I was learning and teaching myself on one of the shows here, checking on one of the mineral resources that I barely even mentioned, but heavily exploited from Congo. We have the cassetrite, which I mentioned yesterday, and others, like really some hard, tough names that I've never had in any of our vocabulary, system of education, or anything. So I'd say it's our system of education to blame for us to even understand if I am going to work in an illegal mining center, I know I'm worth $10 billion.
That's right. So see what Joe was, that's what the South Africans said. We must change our education. We need to know all these minerals that they steal and where they work. Why we learned about the Bible?
We have, yes, gold, cobalt, silver, but we're not taught the profit Africa makes from this. Trust me, we're taught. If maybe I can't remember social studies so much because I also didn't like schooling. I'm not gonna but I know we were told about the gold, the cobalt, silver. I think I remember maybe we were taught about the commoners, but I think the breaking down of everything is
commons,
not, I think we were taught about that, but it's not really broken down the way you're trying to make me understand last week. So I was trying to remember, I'm like, I think we've been taught about the people control the farm, the water, it's there because it's like a diagram. We have the commons.
These are called the commons for civilization to exist. You don't get to steal the commons, Joby. You don't get to take the commons because it's got to be common use. You don't get to steal the commons to break down a society, break down civilization. It's common that everybody needs certain things to survive, Joby.
Let me see if it's there. What they control.
Common. Ask Shamani, since you cooking. Do you know what the commons are? Yes, Shamani knows. Shamani, do you know what the commons are?
What is that? She's asking what that.
Yes, she doesn't know. So that means see, that's why things the commons are things that everybody uses: air, water, vegetation. The commons are certain things that should never be controlled by one person because they're common use for everybody. So it's something called the commons. You never allow people to own the commons.
Yeah, I'm trying to see. So we have the economic subject object, which is common ownership and control of product of work. We have common control and common. We have common control and the common control and command of the entire work process. Then underneath we have the common means of production and the labor power. No, really, this is not the whole diagram. I think we had a diagram because you mentioned social studies, and I think we studied that in social studies, but it was not really that well broken down the way you made us understand on Friday.
But they're taking out of schools. They don't want you to know what the commons. They don't want you to know the commons. That's why I told you the fires. Me growing up in California, I know this is a breakdown of the commons. Oh, bless you, Joby. This is a breakdown of the commons. So most people are not taught the commons. Just like when everybody when we was doing the show Friday, most people didn't know what it was. Only Jibber Jabber who knew what the commons was, and most everybody didn't know what the commons were no more. They don't teach it because they still in the commons, Joe. They don't want you to know that you're supposed to have commons anymore. Because they're still in all the commons. They're still in it to control all society and make it unfair and unequal.
Anyway, I think if I wish I bump into a social studies textbook right now, I'd love to revise it so bad. I swear, no cap. You want to use but I'd love to check.
Does Airtime know what the commons are?
Do you know what the commons are?
You know what the commons are, Airtime?
Air. What
you do? All right, what are they?
Air. Air. Common.
That's That's one with all of them.
Oh, okay.
That,
Meditation.
that's one of. You just heard me say that shit. Get out there.
I'm just like, she's not even going to the, she's not mentioning nothing with water. I know, like, no water, no nothing. But yeah, they control most arable of the lands, literally. The most arable. Yeah. Or the most of the productivity that runs the community of the system, if I'm not wrong, Keith. Literally.
Yeah. That runs society, runs the community. The commons that everybody needs to survive, and it should not be made for profit. It should not be have ownership by a few people because they're the commons. These are things that's needed for everybody to survive. And you were taught this, but they've taken it out of school. They said, remember, Joe, we did this. Didn't nobody know what the commons were? It was only like 2 people that knew. Jibba Jabba came in, said, yeah, the commons. And nobody said, what's that? I said, God damn.
It was only Jibba, if I can remember.
Yeah, it was just Jibba. Jibba said, yeah, the commons. Yeah, because you were taught this. They don't teach it no more, Joby. On purpose.
It's crazy. But as we get closer to winding up, Africans, we need to get into the real books. Right now, we're living under internet, so we have articles. If you know how to search for articles, you have to be very keen when you're searching for articles.
I don't know how to research no more because Google's so cool. How do you? Because in the beginning, Google didn't know when everybody woke up, so Google would take you to where you need to find.
I think you have to go with where I've come to figure out if you want to understand some things on Google. Where they say it's a conspiracy theory, that's where the truth is. You know, the
of course, that's what the truth is. But you gotta go like 3, 4, 5, 6 pages in because Google's now redirecting you to what they want you to their propaganda. So research. If you start research, you don't know nothing. It's gonna be harder for you now to get to the truth because there's too many people waking up.
You gotta be careful when you're doing your research. You have to know what you're looking for. You have to have at least a niche of the information you're looking for.
Exactly, Joe. If you don't, exactly. That's what makes it. If you don't got the niche, that's what I'm talking. They made it so goddamn hard. You gonna look for it, you read this, okay, then that's it. No, you don't know. You just got propaganda, some more lies.
I think for me, it also took me time, remember, because most of the articles I could bring here, you tell me, nah, that's some bullshit, that's some propaganda.
That's because I've already known, Joby, from years back. So that gave me understanding. But the new person doesn't have that.
For me on my end, it took me, of course, also time, like to understand, of course, how can I get into the real article instead of being told this is all propaganda and all that.
Yeah.
Like it took me time to understand this is an article with facts, and that's why sometimes before I read an article or share the video, I'm gonna tell you guys, I understand what's going on here. Get what you can get, the real facts.
Yeah.
The rest of the bullshit, which you know is bullshit. Okay, if you know leave the bullshit. Get what you can get here. Okay, get the real facts of what. The most important.
Yeah, you become a really good researcher. It's hard. It's hard to do research back up. It's hard because you got that understanding that you have now, Joby. How does a new person research? That's the only thing. How does a new person that don't know shit research?
Well, again, I'm gonna say unless you're not really that fucked up spiritually, then the universe will always guide you towards the truth. Because personally,
well, that's true. I think that's true. That's true.
Yeah, I've said this. I always ask sometimes questions and answers will just appear. Trust
me. Just like I was busy doing this hard labor and the irritant asked me about the global warming, the carbon shit. And instantly, on my timeline, it had, because it's a symbiote, but instantly there was a video about the carbon shit called it a scam. And I didn't even look at it because the irritant asking me. You become so in tune with the creator. Joey's right. They'll send you the information that you need.
Yeah, you have to. If you're not, and that's why I say sometimes I wonder how most of our Africans are falling into some traps because your intuitions will literally tell you things clearly. Like your intuitions will, if you're really spiritually connected, and that's why personally I love saying I don't know, but I think my past life must have been amazing to the point where I walked away with this.
It was.
to be able to detect some things.
Of course.
When I doubt them, because I see.
Let me know. Let me know when you want to do your past life regression. Remember, Kendrick Lamar just did his. Kendrick Lamar. Let me know if anybody in the studio. If you guys want to know what your past lives are, we see if we can find someone in Kenya who has that sign, because it's a psychologist, because it's a professional. See, if you guys want to know what your past lives was, I'll facilitate it. I know Kendrick Lamar did his last year. He said it fucked him up. He's like, man, I was this, I was that. So he wanted to know what he was in his past life. He said, man, that shit fucked me up.
What? The heck? Shmani says, what if you find out?
You guys want
Naruto's lineage?
No, that ain't got nothing to do with that. That don't mean nothing. You're gonna be black. You're gonna be as a man. They said you're gonna be a man or a woman because you're both. One life you can be a man, one life you can be a woman. Because I told you the creator's not a man or a woman. It's both and more than we can perceive. But you guys want to know your past lives? Let me know. It's some interesting shit.
I'll let you know.
It ain't nothing to be scared of. It's just what you have been before. You are endless.
I feel like I have a lot to still learn about even my current life. Of course, still knowing myself as a person, my flaws, because every day is a learning journey about also our own selves. That's
because you're not Joby, you're not Shemai, not Irta. You are a soul playing the character of Joby and Shemani Irta in this life. That's not who you are. You're bigger than that.
The character of Joby has to know, some of the things why she's doing this. Sometimes that's why I question. The reason why I tend to question my previous life is because of my current life actions. Because I see sometimes how.
Of course, you had a lot of past life understanding, Joe, because for you to maneuver from where you came from is amazing to me. Because you should be a baby mama with 3 babies or some shit.
Oh shit, no way. Hell no. Hell no. Bro, take your sperms back. No osmosis me. No way. But anyway, family, we're coming to the end of today's conversation. Thank you so much for tuning in. To those who shall be catching this on a replay, kindly leave your comments behind on Rumble and BitChute. For those who shall be listening to this on Spotify, Spreaker, hope you guys get to enjoy. But much love. It's been an amazing conversation.
Okay, you that on YouTube either?
Yeah, I'm on YouTube too. And for those who are as well, ensure you pin your comments as well and subscribe. Ensure you check out the amazing application, rather our app in the Google.
All I got was one life I lived. I was an Egyptian. I was an Egyptian administrator. It was wild. I was an Egyptian. I did it like 7-8 years ago. So I was an Egyptian administrator. I seen the whole life. I seen my kids around me when I was dying and shit. What? It was awesome. Yeah. I never took. I used to have it on seat. I lost because we taped the sessions. And so this one life, I was.
Let me wrap it up. You tell us this story off air because everyone is interested.
All right, we'll wrap it up. Go ahead, Artista. Go ahead. Go wrap it up.
See you guys later. Asante Sana once again. Catch me up on the reaction time. Me and Shumani come back on the radio on TikTok. Shumani is coming back with Iwaton with the BHFN countdown. See what's the literally latest music in the 254 and what do you love from them.